Okay, so this is step one of the research project. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a concept map. And it's just an idea map, okay? And you're going to put the name of whichever historical figure you're researching in the center here, in the footprint, right? I'm doing an example of Admiral Pliny because, well, we are not putting him on trial. So I don't give anything away to anybody. But you would put whomever you're researching here. Julius Caesar, Hannibal, Alexander the Great. And then around it, you're just going to start listing all the things you know about that person. So I know Admiral Pliny's rich. Well, I know that because he had multiple houses and many slaves, right? And he treated some of those slaves well. Notice I branch off here. What do I know about his slaves? Well, I know he treated some of them well, and I know he didn't treat some of them well, right? So he treated Phrixus well, but he didn't treat the slave who, lost his life when he was out on the boat well, right? And he's not concerned about the slave drowning, right? So just some of the things that I remember about him. I know that he was generous because he gave gifts to the four kids, right? And so I have those all listed here. And he had a dinner party for them for a thank you. And I know he was in the military, right? And that he had authority. He was an admiral in the Roman Navy, right? And so that meant he had authority and he was respected and he commanded many warships, right? And all those little details about what it means to be an admiral, I have off around he was an admiral, which is admiral, which is what's coming off the shoe, right? And so this is just like an idea web, a web of ideas. He was knowledgeable. He wrote natural history, is highly regarded, right? How do I know that he was knowledgeable? So I came up with like 4 basic things that I knew about him. He was rich, he was generous, he was an admiral in the Navy, and he was knowledgeable. He had a lot of knowledge, right? And then I listed the things that I knew, how I knew those things about him. That's what you're going to do for the person you're researching. What do you know? What do you remember about Julius Caesar, right? What do you remember about Alexander the Great? What do you remember about Hannibal? And Darius the First, right? Who was the Persian who attacked Greece, right? Battle of Marathon, the pontoons. And so you want to just list them. Now, do you have to fill in the whole page? No, you do not have to fill in the whole page. In fact, if you look at the rubric, step 1 is the concept map. It says fully developed, covering at least half the page, right? You can get a 4. So that's 1 point, which 2 points total on your grade, right? So instead of 100, it's 98. If you cover a third of the page. So if you can remember 1 or 2 things and then a few details about each of those things, you're going to be able to get a 5 or a 4, right? And then if you give anything at all, write down 2 things that you remember about that person, you'll get a 3. Okay, the only way you can get a 0 is if you leave it blank. All right? And I will be in class to help you with it if you have any questions.